a pathetic human being.
When you
a
were
terrible
out
father
fucking
and a
around with
worse
Johnny.
husband.
When you
You're
were
pathetic.
why do you keep coming back?
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grimm. We're about to see Dr. Phil tear into a terrible father today. Wow, that rhymed. Keep watching until the end to see just how evil this dude is. Like, he might win some awards for bad parenting if that was a thing. Without further ado, let's just get into it, shall we?
Your father basically negates everything you're saying.
Well, not everything.
He says that you're just a control freak and thrives on attention.
So Dr. Phil is already annoyed with his father because he's obviously denying everything that his daughter is claiming about him, as well as just straight up lying about what he's done to his children in the past. This daughter just got done talking for about 2 minutes about all the terrible things he did to her and her brother as children. When he got mad, he just locked them outside in the snow, and it happened so often that they had to make a little makeshift fort under their trampoline with warm blankets and non-perishable foods ready because they simply wouldn't know the next time they would be sent out there for punishment and for how long. This dude is a big piece of garbage already. Like, I'm glad he's getting exposed for this.
Derogating your daughter is unbecoming to you.
You're right.
Tell me what your hope is for today.
Dr. Phil is basically saying, dude, first of all, don't freaking interrupt me on my own show. Secondly, you're fighting with your kid right now on stage and it's not a good look, bro. Just shut up so I can get into this story, please. Like, if he's already testing Dr. Phil's patience this much, I can't wait to see where this is headed, man. I hope we have some tension later on. I'd like to see when he pops off on guests. I don't know about you guys. It makes for good content, though. Get your popcorn ready, just in case.
Definitely, I would love if you could help my brother. Like, he's my best friend and I value his life way more than anyone else does, especially my dad.
Oh, the shade from this daughter right here, calling out her dad like that, and rightfully so. She has a brother who we might meet on stage today. I'm not sure if they bring him out or not, but he is doing worse off than she is. And to be honest, after hearing how terrible her childhood has been and how she had to basically protect her brother and help raise him throughout all of this, I'm surprised at how well put together and intelligent this daughter seems. I mean, you wouldn't expect someone to be that articulate and calm when talking about their terrible life like that.
I haven't heard your mother or your father ask a question. Dr. Phil, is there a path that we can get Nick on to save his life?
That's really the saddest part in all of this, is even this weak mother doesn't have the courage to stand up to this guy, and she just enabled him throughout both of these kids' childhoods. And now when the time comes, she is sitting up on stage trembling at the thought of standing up to her dictator husband, and she even paid her own daughter $300 to lie about how she got bruises when a teacher reported the kid and had her investigated by CPS. For you to be able to do that and not want to protect your child is just sickening to me. And these two had the ability to have a kid, but really should not have, because they're both terrible parents. They don't have any real interest in raising or loving these kids, and I'm just disgusted already, bro, and we aren't even that far into this thing yet.
Where did the bruise come from?
Came from my dad. And his excuse was that it was his flat knuckles and that flat knuckles don't hurt.
Oh my lord, dude, this guy is one of the worst parents that we have actually seen on the show by far, if not the worst, at least that I know of. Like, who in their right mind would claim something like that? Did you hear what he just said? And this girl was still in elementary school. It doesn't matter what age you are, but I'm sorry, you should never do that to your child. I don't care what they did to deserve it in your eyes. That is not a fitting punishment. And if I was her, I would have taken that $300 and still reported him, dude. I don't mind finessing my mom if she's gonna be defending that evil man. You know, I'd go walk myself to the store and cop $300 worth of candy or something, dude.
In front of your kids, do you call your wife word?
No, I call her my beauty queen since the day I met her.
He must just have an odd pronunciation of beauty queen, guys. That's why it sounds like that vile word that I won't mention instead. That's all it is, alright? It's a huge misunderstanding. You gotta realize, he's a great guy. He even used flat knuckles, and everyone knows that's not supposed to hurt. He's just so in love with his beauty queen wife that, you know, sometimes he forgets to pronounce the words beauty and queen, and, you know, it just happens to the best of us. Yes, that was sarcasm, by the way. This man is an utter monster. Don't let that change your mind on it. He has been tormenting his family for years, and I'm glad that he's getting his comeuppance on stage right now, and everyone in the audience keeps laughing at him.
This is what you said. As long as you have a blank, you can get away with all manner of lies in our society.
Oh, he's one of those too. Look, I'm not gonna say the name of the type of guy this is, but I'll just say it's a seemingly growing group on the internet for some reason, and they're a bunch of sad degenerates that hate women. Why did this dude have a family in the first place, I'm wondering? Like, he couldn't have just been sad on his own and drank his sorrows away all day lonely and maybe used flat knuckles on himself when he got angry or sad? Like, why bring kids into this world and have your wife on lockdown for years just to do it to them? Like, I hate this dude. He's a real garbage human being in every aspect, and is just a sad shell of a man.
And there's more text. You should actually put the whole text up, not just the two little bits.
This is what Nick reported.
You should put the whole text up, Dr. Phil, not just the bad parts, okay? I wrote this whole manifesto to my wife about why I hate her, and you're missing out on crucial context. I love how this dude claims that all this stuff is taken out of context, and he should show the real conversation. But the issue with that is, dude, no matter how much you phrase all of this under any context, it's not okay, alright, whatsoever. He's just a bad dude, and him scrambling on stage to try to justify all of this and all of his actions to cover for himself is so beautiful right now. Like, I'm enjoying watching him squirm on stage, trying to look good and failing miserably.
Okay, that's an excellent effort at deflection. However,
Dr. Phil is really not holding back on this moron either, and I love that. I appreciate when he, clowns on people, because they always are the ones that actually deserve it most. There's people on here that genuinely want help and their stories are sad, but this dude has done no apologizing whatsoever or opening up at all. He just is closed off and deflects all of this as if he never did it, or he just doesn't, place the blame on himself at all. Then Dr. Phil turns around with evidence proving that exact opposite moments after. You'd think that this guy would realize this is a losing battle and he just give up for a bit, but I guess not. He's still clinging on for dear life.
so it was you that was saying that her mistake is she wants to be more friends with the kids than a parent.
Yes.
You're saying this
Oh,
was
I'm
you're
telling you.
buddying up to him, being his friend.
You got it. I stopped parenting 5 years ago.
The more this man talks, the stupider he sounds, and the more he just digs his own grave. I mean, nobody in the crowd cared about him in the first place after hearing what he has done to his family and his kids, but now that he is on stage and just boofing it, they really are all ganging up on him and laughing at him at every moment, and it's beautiful to see. This is a massive train wreck in the best way possible.
So every incident that's ever happened, I go at it this tone of voice. I sit down with the kids, I start talking to them.
Just because this guy wants to start things off by being calm doesn't mean that he's successful at it. In fact, he's the polar opposite of being successful. He claims that he is just trying to intimidate them so that they don't press his buttons and make it, get to a point to where he is physical with them. But I mean, dude, do you not realize how stupid that sounds? That's just a long roundabout way of basically admitting how terrible of a spouse and parent you are, and proves that all your kid was just claiming about you is entirely true. This rageaholic meathead doesn't even have the mental capacity to realize that he's just, talking himself into this hole deeper and deeper, so I'm just gonna let him keep talking at this point. It's entertaining, and I think Dr. Phil has the same strategy.
So guys, real quick, I have a super fast challenge that only takes 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just give it a try, it really works.
You actually have.
You have the combination.
It started with your affair, and
You
you
have
walked
the
the thing when
combination.
you had an affair.
You have the combination.
Because I was just going to run off with your money.
Dr. Phil is just shutting up at this point, like I was saying, and letting them bicker between themselves. Not sure on why he's doing that, but honestly, this dude will just not stop talking. He's got to come up with excuses, so he's just letting them run with it. And as you can tell, that these two people don't even think of their kid in this equation at all, or else it wouldn't be nearly as bad. They are just hateful towards each other, and the kids are honestly a second thought at this point, which is incredibly sad since, like the daughter says, she is managing okay, but her brother is in dire need of help and has been so affected by his relationship with his father and how terrible this guy is that he needs someone to care about him before it's too late. And that is honestly heartbreaking that they're just missing that entirely. This guy is now trying to back out of all of this, and his answers with Dr. Phil are just terrible, who's pressing him about all these things that he's done to his kids throughout the years. His explanations are wonderfully stupid and so narcissistic. You can tell this man is just a flat out bad liar, and he is so bad at explaining things to where he somehow makes these already terrible stories sound much worse. He claims that he has never laid a finger on his kids, yet fully admits to pinning his kid against the wall in anger and threatening with his fist. What a sad rat-faced little man. He's just so insecure that he has to bully those under him to feel powerful, and this whole thing is just further proof that you should not have kids if you have anger problems.
Yeah, so the incident was 45 minutes long. 45 minutes long, where you sat on your perch and did nothing.
He even stumbles trying to explain why he was arrested in 2014 for threats that he gave to his family, about how he was going to ice them all or something, dude. I don't even get the full story, but his explanation is so wonderfully stupid once again that everyone in the crowd can't help but laugh. Like, imagine having a crowd full of people laughing at you. You just made yourself look like a total moron, dude. It's crazy to me that these kids got so unlucky and have these two terrible parents, and I say this in a lot of these videos. Once again, I hope for you guys out there that do have parents that are obviously better than this, that actually love you, I hope that after you see this, you can appreciate them a little bit more. It's pretty clear that these people just don't care about their kids at all. Another note I want to make is I dislike the high horse that this wife/mother has been on this whole time. She's been egging on this guy on stage and laughing at him too, but you can't excuse her from being blamed entirely, since, I mean, she wasn't strong enough to stand up for her kids and knowingly stayed with this monster for years after all that he has been doing to their family. I mean, that's unexcusable, and she is just as much to blame for how hard these kids have had it as this guy is. There's a lot to unpack with this family, and I mean, I might make a part 2 if you guys are interested. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts were on this story, and if you would want to see a part 2, because we still haven't even met the son yet, but let's see how good this does first. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.